streaming live on Facebook right now.
Heather, you're going to want to mute though, unless you want to join us and talk to everyone. There you go.
No, thank you.
Well, hello, Crook County community and school district friends, parents, whoever else is watching today. We like to remain consistent in bringing you the Fireside Chat. So here we are on Friday afternoon. It started out to be a cold day, but it's a beautiful day. And I just have to tell you, there's probably 8 deer playing outside of my office window. It is paradise in Crook County School District.
Very much.
So the people we have with us today, actually we have Heather Hickson, the assistant to the superintendents and the board. She is pushing us live today because our director, Jason Carr, is off doing another project. And I have my favorite assistant superintendent in the state of Oregon right here with us, Dr. Joel Ha.
Good to be here, Sarah, Dr. John. We got just some quick announcements today, right? Is that, am I
This is not a giant fireside chat. I think
No.
giant celebrations, and there's probably giant gratitudes that we could throw out. But guess what? This is probably one of the best weeks of the year because all 3,200 of Crook County students are back in school full time. And we know and we affirm that it took a lot of support from our teachers, our health department, our administrators, our classified staff, our bus drivers. But as Jason said on Facebook, a post on Facebook this week, mission impossible has been accomplished.
There were some tough days back there.
There were some tough
August,
days.
September. I mean, and we celebrate this because, man, the opportunities our kids have had to get back in school, and you look across the state and you look across the country, and we are so fortunate that our staff was able to pull this together and work hard because there's still some kids that don't have that option. So no, we're so, I mean, it really is just like, it feels like such a long journey from Friday, March 13th.
Friday, March 13th. Yep.
When they shut it down to be like, all right, on Tuesday, January 26th, we returned. There was a really cool sign. I don't know if you saw it, Dr. Johnson, in the high school that the high school leadership team put out that said,
oh yeah,
welcome back from spring break.
So that was the student leadership, and it was,
yeah, that was pretty funny.
So there you go. There's a student snapshot of it. Hey, I do want to tell you that our high school did just a real tight check-in with our teachers and our students. And the check-in said, on a scale 1 to 10, how would you rate our startup? That was Tuesday. Well, the average teacher rating was 8, or was it 8.5?
It was 8.7 is what sticks out of my mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was nearly to 9.
Like high. So.
Yes, incredible. And then our students said it was a 7. And our students gave some really wonderful ways that we could make things just a spot better. And
always get better.
We value that.
That's cool.
Dr. Hoff, you put in so much collaboration and effort for Monday. What happened Monday?
Monday, vaccine.
That was only this Monday.
Yeah, it's been a week. We got a lot done this week. Taxpayers are getting their money's worth out of us, as they do every week, but this week especially. So we had our vaccine drive.
How many people got vaccinated in the high school commons this week?
Yep. So there was, it was a completely optional. We put out there for all staff, substitutes, people connected with the school district, and we had 289 vaccinations, I believe, total, collaboratively with the Mosaic Medical. They were great partners, and the Crook County Health Department. So they partnered so we could get enough doses. And yeah, 289 just in that one day, because I know some people also gotten some individually from the health department before. So that's a lot of doses of the Moderna vaccine. So it was completely optional for staff, but we were excited to say if someone wanted it, an educator or someone connected to the school district, we were able to get it to them. So that was definitely a celebration.
Big celebration that we had the first vaccinations, and we have a follow-up getting ready to roll on. We're working out the final details on that. So the big news for the week was all students back and vaccination round 1.
Mhm.
So one of the highlights of the Fireside chat is Dr. Hoff's chart. Yes. So I'm looking forward to seeing the chart today.
Someday, Dr. Johnson, people, they're not going to know how much they miss my charts, right? They might
I
take
would
them for
miss
granted
them
now.
so much if we didn't
Let's
have any
get
charts.
let's get the weekly chart up here for
Because I
folks.
want to tell you this, a good friend of mine and well, I would have to say a mentor more than a friend, an attorney that I worked for when I was in human resources, she told me everyone understands information better if you put it in a chart. And I think Dr. Hoff is the perfect example of creating a visual so that we can all understand things, not only in the moment, but we can see them over time. So this is an incredible piece of information to look at.
I do what I
Some
can.
good
This
news
keeps
on
getting.
that chart too.
All right, let me get this laser pointer thing feature out. All
So
right.
just for those listening, when Dr. Hoff gets out the laser pointer, I tell him I feel like a cat chasing it because he moves around a lot. So see if you see that
Interesting, I
happening
know.
today.
All right, so and my chart just keeps getting more and more complicated. I didn't add any lines to it this week, but I'll just go through our normal kind of update. So this blue line up top, that's your bi-weekly case count for the entire county. So Crook County, from January 10th to January 23rd, we're starting to go back down, which is a good sign. We had 131 total cases over those 2 weeks for the entire county. This next line, this gray line, is our quarantines, the number of students quarantined, not the number of students that have COVID. Those are just that maybe have been exposed, and out of an abundance of caution, we've had them shift to comprehensive distance learning. So we're at 104. So we're just making sure we're really cautious to keep kids home that might have been exposed. This green line, that's the actual students over 2 weeks that have had a positive case. So this went down. So we're down to 7 for that time span. And then finally, the number of teachers that are quarantined is at a very low number, 4. So we only have 4, and it's not just teachers, it's staff. So only 4 staff members quarantined for those previous 2 weeks. So that's a really encouraging data to see. So, and again, these are things that we monitor, and we work hand in hand with our health department as well as our school nurses, so that we're really listening to the experts on making safe decisions for everyone.
I
Dr.
just want
Johnson?
to go ahead.
I was going to say, you have anything to add? And then I cut you off as you added something.
Not so much about the chart, but if you could leave it up there, I think it's a good context. We want to remind everyone that there's a reason that we're open. And the reason is because we continue to feel like it's safe in school, believe that it's safe according to the science. And we are doing things to make sure that it's safe. The things that continue to be consistent are that we are continuing to reinforce that all of our people, including our students, will wear masks. And it's a challenge sometimes to really get those masks in the position that they need to be. In other words, up over the nose and covering that mouth. We're doing some kind of recirculating back and emphasizing that and saying, we can't let down now, right when we're in this last stretch. So we will continue to really be very thoughtful and intentional with the masks, but also the cleaning. There's just so much cleaning that is going on, advanced things that our team has put into place and they're keeping in place and they continue to do. Cleaning on those buses, cleaning in the schools. We continue to screen and be very careful that if someone has any kind of a symptom, we would want them to not be in the school, because the chances of spreading it to others are great risk to people. And we believe that as we begin to see more people vaccinated and we push on through this season where it seems to be plateauing across the US, that we are pushing down the end of a long stretch here. So we want to be vigilant. We ask for you to be vigilant and keep doing those things that keep us safe and keep us in schools.
Fantastic. I talked with some principals this week where we're talking about the mask thing and how it's hard to continue to reinforce, the mask mandate. But one of the things that we talked about was it's just such a matter of fact thing that we have to do. It's kind of like when you go into a restaurant or, the grocery store where you say, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Right.
Where it's like, it's not that we're like mad or we want to debate. It's just like, hey, to be here, here's what you have to do. And if that doesn't work, then we have to find a different, comprehensive distance learning model or whatnot. But it's just like, it's something that we can't kind of negotiate or play with. It's like, these are the requirements for us to be in an in-person model. So, but overall, I think people are doing just a fantastic job.
They are, including our students.
For sure.
I do want to say, I want to share some things I saw when I was at the high school today, because our career technical ed, which used to be called vocational ed, it is just soaring. I saw students landing, I can't think of the word, the flying things, the drones, landing a drone on a box, like they had a successful landing and then a unsuccessful landing. I mean, which kids around the state are getting to do that? I saw students outside rolling this enormous snowball, like, as tall as a student, students together. We got to see some of our students playing on the sport court. Those kids are getting to experience some of the things that they really need. Students saying, I got to get back up and get back in the grind. But our kids are getting to engage in some of the things that some of our students across this world, even United States, Oregon, are actually getting to, are still dreaming about. So ours are in.
I talked to, just to build off that, I ran into a parent last night, walking her dog, and she was just like, oh my goodness. I think she had a middle schooler where they our elementary kids have been full days, since September, October, but these middle school, high school parents, I just hear a lot of, oh my goodness, thank you. My kid is back in the rhythm of school, back, kind of like you said, back in the grind. I think our teachers and our staff did the very best they could with this hybrid every other day. But man, to just get back into that normal rhythm of school for our 6th through 12th graders, I think is just going to have huge dividends, getting kids caught up academically and moving forward. So we're really excited.
John on Facebook Live brings up a good point that the distancing is as important as anything. And so the systems that our administrators have put in to ensure that kids are distanced and that those cohorts are small numbers, those are important. And we do emphasize that distancing, social distancing in the buildings and outside. I know, it's a little safer outside, but still we do continue to emphasize the distancing. So thank you for mentioning that. I think it's super important to have the distancing.
Dr. Johnson, I have a quick 2 things I want to preview to get people kind of excited about what's coming from the Crook County School District. And then that's all I got. Number 1, new Crook County School District website will come out. Our good friend and fantastic communication director, Jason Carr, has been updating, working with our great tech department, Tanya Howard. And our new website is going to come out, I believe, next Monday. He's going to release that. So that's something to be excited about. Number 2, we have finalized our recruitment marketing video that Olive and Blue Photography made for us. And that is going to come out Tuesday. So we're going to hit folks with a back-to-back really cool things next week. So make sure they're watching the website and the Facebook, because there's going to be some exciting stuff coming out from the Crook County School District next week.
Okay, lots of good things going on. A lot of good movement forward, and it's so great to be moving forward rather than just standing still or even falling behind. So that's a good celebration this week. Dr. Hoff, I like to wait a little bit, see if anybody asks anything. I don't have anything on Zoom.
You got the one comment we had
already
on Facebook. So.
Highlighted John's comment about distancing. So we'll go with that.
I think
Anything else?
it's a beautiful Friday in Cook
Shortest
County. I'm happy to be
Fireside
alive.
chat. It hardly feels like a fireside chat. We're just kind of doing a quick check-in, but
Consistency. It's all about consistency. Let our
It's
people
all-
know we're still here.
absolutely.
We care about them, and we're still running great schools.
we think it's a great privilege to be educators in Crook County School District. So we're going to be back next week, next Friday. You can count on us. We're going to stick with it. I think we're going to try to make it all the way through the end of the school year, see if it's meaningful to people, and then we'll reassess at that point. But it's a great channel for us to communicate with you and also to answer any questions. We don't mean to always be filling in the gaps. We want to make space for questions, but we also don't want to keep you all afternoon. And so thank you. Thank you, Crook County. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, staff. And we'll see you next week right here on Fireside Chat.
See you guys.